right now we're going to learn all about the connected customer. And I'd like to bring up live person here who's going to moderate, Ido HaKohen, and the other members of the connected customer panel and discussion, which we're going to take away. And how many of you have hesitated for a moment when you bought something online? Almost all. And how many of you decided, okay, someone's helped, I'll buy it? Yeah, well, that's due to our Israeli friends at Live Person, and I'm going to let Ido tell you all about it, and the other fine CEOs tell you about their great companies.
Excellent. So we'd like to take the next 50 minutes or so to talk about the connected customer and what it means throughout different devices, what it means throughout, what are the expectations of the connected customers. And we have different companies that each represent a different aspect of what the connected customer means, and they each have a different way to deal with the connected customer. Really, before we start, what's the idea of the connected customer? So when we talk about the connected customer, we actually talk about basically all of us, right? Because we're today connected to companies that we either buy from or that we're customers of through multiple devices, whether it be online, offline, mobile, and so on. And today, as providers of software, we try to provide solutions that enable our customers' customers to actually interact in real time and provide their customers with what they need. So before we start, just maybe a quick round of introduction. So I'm Ido HaKohen. I'm from Live Person. I'm the head of our partner ecosystem.
I'm Eran Karoli, and I'm the Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Tipalti.
Hi, I'm Shuki Labi. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Gumio. We have a platform that powers the top publishers in about 150,000 small and mid-sized businesses and let them get on every device.
My name is Ariel Finkelstein. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Compal. We're a SaaS company from Israel with over 65,000 customers around the world, selling feedback solutions to all of our customers, which we'll talk about in a second. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Ronen Sasson. Just mentioned before. I am the co-founder and CEO of Communitech Technology. We have built a remote access technology that allow remotely control, support, collaborate with smartphones for the purpose of guiding, troubleshooting, and also assist control for enterprises.
So actually the first thing that we'd like to do is introduce each of our companies. How many of you know Live Person? Raise your hand. Wow, that's a big ratio. But really a few words about Live Person and what it is that we do. We're all about creating meaningful connections. That's really the essence of what it is that we're doing. And we're doing it through our technology. We've been around since 1995. We've been a SaaS pioneer, software as a service company since 1998. And we've been public since 2000 in NASDAQ, and last year we went public in Tel Aviv. It's one of the most interesting companies, I would say, because it's a US-based company. But we have more people in Israel than we have throughout the world. So all of our R&D is in Israel, our support is in Israel, online sales is in Israel. We have about 340 people in Israel and about 575 people overall. So more than half of the company is actually located in Israel, although it's a US-based, it's a US headquartered, it's a US-based company. And the founder is not Israeli and is not Jewish. We have offices today in the US, in Israel, in the UK, and we're expanding to Asia Pacific and to the rest of the world. We have more than 8,500 customers, And we have customers from all sizes, so small businesses, mid-market customers, and enterprise customers. We've been growing at a 25% rate year over year in the past 5 years. So this is something that is important to state. These are some of our customers. And I presume that most of you have used our technology in some case or another. So if you find these, this is just a small representation of some of our biggest customers, but I assume that all of you went either are their customers or have gone to their website, and you probably also used our live chat technology and our intelligent engagement technology. So, as I said before, we are all about creating and making meaningful connections. And the way that we do it is by enabling the companies that use our software to intelligently engage with their customers in real time, anywhere, at the right time, with the right message. We are mostly known for our chat product, live chat, which drives conversions. We show 25% increase in customer conversion over our customers' websites, and 35% increase in customer satisfaction. But today, this is only one sort of engagement that we provide, and this chat engagement is based on an intelligent platform that enables us to really make the connection at the right time and make it proactive. So it's not that somebody has to wait for you to start a conversation, but we actually initiate the conversation with the right consumers. This is the journey that we went through. So we started with a reactive engagement, reactive chat, and then we moved to proactive engagement in 2006. This is what actually changed the company. This is what transformed us to the company that we are today, a big data company. And as you can see, today in 2011, chat is not the only engagement that we have. We basically monitor a third of the web. And if you look at our chat product, you'll see that we have more than 13 million chats per month and more than 8,500 customers. This is the core of our system. So we have a very strong infrastructure that is very important to our enterprise customers. But this infrastructure, what it enables us to do is it enables us to actually monitor and collect data on what customers are doing on website, which enables us to actually help these customers, and we'll talk about that just a little bit in the session today. Then we have a intelligent mechanism that enables us to really define who we're talking to and when our customers are talking to. And then we have the actual engagements. And some of the engagements are, we talked about chat. LP Marketer is a content engagement solution. And then one of the things that we've lately done is we've opened up our platform and we enable third-party software vendors to also provide solutions on top of our platform, which make it richer and which make it more robust. These are some of the examples of some of the partners that we have. And if you have a technology company or you know somebody or you're investing in a technology company and you'd like to bring them to enterprise customers in the US, then come talk to me and we'll be happy to bring you onto our program. So that's about LivePerson.
Tipalti is a software as a service solution that enables company to make payments to the masses. If we learned one thing in the first decade of this millennium, between 2000 and 2010, is that our customers are everywhere. They're all over the world as we use the internet. In the second decade of the millennium, in this decade, we're learning that our suppliers are everywhere, all over the world. So if you are an online ad network and you connect advertisers with what's known as publishers or website owners, then your publishers are all over the world, and you have thousands of them that need to be compensated for their efforts. And if you're a crowdsourcing network and you're connecting consumers or buyers with providers and suppliers of anything from designing graphics to writing copy, your suppliers are all over the world. And if you're a crowdfunding network and you connect people who want to fund projects with people who originate projects, those project originators are all over the world. And so if you have customers all over the world, most likely you also have suppliers all over the world. And the preferred payment method that a supplier wants to be paid with differs based on where they're coming from. So if they are in the US, maybe they want to be paid via ACH or PayPal, and if they're in France, they want to be paid by checks, and if they are in Pakistan, they want to be paid by prepaid debit card. Of course, they want to receive their funds in their local currency, because that's what they use when they go to the supermarket or buy goods. So if you want to do that, just remember that if you transfer money to India, you have to know the IFSC code of the person's bank account. How many of you know what an IFSC code is? None. I'm not surprised. And if you want to transfer funds to the UK, you need to know the sort code of the bank account of the person who receives the funds. And if you transfer money to Israel, you have to have the person's ID number. And by the way, make sure that when you transfer funds to all of these suppliers of yours, you don't pay the bad people. You don't want to pay the people who are involved in scamming or aiding terrorism or money launderers and other bad things that you don't want to pay for. If this sounds complicated, if this sounds fraught with peril, it is. And that's where Tipalti is coming in. We provide a very simple software as a service solution which gets embedded into the payer's website, allowing the payer to register all of their payees and then offer them a payment method based on the country in which they reside. They can choose their payment method. They enter then all of their banking information, or all of the information needed to successfully transact with them. And all of that is done completely white labeled and in a very simple manner. And here you see a few examples of our customers, advertising networks such as Israeli ad network called Infolinks, or a financial blogging site called Seeking Alpha, who's paying their bloggers, their writers. All of those are examples of customers using Tipalti. Tipalti takes care of this entire process. We cover every country in the world. We can disperse funds to every country in the world. We can make payments in local currencies in every one of those countries. We offer a very wide range of payment methods optimized to the country in which the payee resides. We can disperse funds in a manner in which either the payee, the recipient of the funds, pays for the transaction, or the payer pays for the transaction, or they can split the costs. We scan and make sure that you don't pay the blacklisted persons as defined by the US Department of the Treasury or by the UN. And we collect tax information and produce tax reports. And we do all of that in a white labeled manner, which makes takes this entire process, which is extremely difficult and causes companies a lot of headache, remove that problem from them and do it in a very simple manner. So it's very common to see a lot of companies helping other companies bring money into the company, and which is very important. You have to collect funds. But many companies forget that they also have to pay their suppliers, and that payment process can be costly, complicated, and eventually can even lead to problems with customer satisfaction, or in this case, supplier satisfaction. This is where Tipalti is coming in, and this is the problem we're solving.
So let's do the afternoon exercise to wake up everyone. Raise your right hand if you have a mobile device. Good. Left hand, and I won't do that, if you have a tablet. Now, your right leg if you also have a PC or a desktop. All right. So you guys get the picture. Same consumer, multiple devices, and I was trying to say left leg goes up if you have a connected TV, but we would all fall. The average consumer today is using multiple devices throughout the day. That's a big problem for anyone who's trying to deliver information to that consumer, be that local businesses, publishers, or anyone else. And that's exactly where we come in. We have a cross-device platform that we've built in the cloud. And we license that platform for technology providers, publishers, and other partners. We have now serving the top publishers in the US and globally, along with about 150,000 SMBs that are aggregated on the platform. As you can see here, these are solutions that create a very clean experience across any device. It allows the business to have one voice and to address you with multiple devices while leveraging the best capabilities of each and every device. This is not the lowest common denominator type of solution where it looks barely okay, but it works on every device. This looks great on every device and operates well on every device and takes advantages of the capabilities of every device. We're providing this to publishers and technology providers, as I mentioned, and we're operating across multiple verticals, from providing coupon programs, showcasing inventory of businesses, local events, brands, retail stores, real estate agents, and anyone out there. And recently, we've taken all of it and packaged it in a self-service approach. So anyone can go out there and with 3 simple steps answer several questions about their business, fill in a little bit of information, and then we generate a cross-device website along with a QR code, SMS keywords, domain name, fully integrated with your social channels such that you can push it to LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and fully optimized with SEO, SEM, such that you don't need to worry about optimizing it or submitting it to Google and the search engine. It's plain and simple. The entire platform, as I said, is in the cloud, and the company's name is Gumio. Thank you.
My name is Ariel Finkelstein, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Compal. And to the point that we're gathered here today, when we opened up the company 5 years ago, it was very simple for us because we live in a country that I don't know how many of you had the chance of enjoying the customer service in Israel, but in Israel, usually the customer is always wrong. So for us, the idea was very, very easy to develop. In a second, I'll talk about what we're doing, but today we have over 65,000 customers, from the small mom and pop shops to very large enterprises. We sell all around the world. We have customers from 192 countries, and we're selling everything on the phone from Israel without the need yet to grow outside, and that's one of the things that we're very proud of doing, and having more and more job opportunities internally for employees here in Israel. What we developed is a feedback solution mechanism, very similar to what Ido spoke about with Live Person. Today, the customer is engaging with you with many different tools, and either it's a website, software, a mobile, tablets, doesn't matter where, but in the online world, we have that, all the different channels. And what we developed for customers to talk to brands to hear the customers and close the feedback loop. Not only to have a stupid survey with 10 questions and giving the customer the feeling that nobody really cares about him, but really engaging with customers. And what we developed was a very sophisticated back engine that enables it to work. And in a second, I'll talk about it. Today we have brands in all the different verticals. We have from, as I mentioned, very small companies to the largest companies around the world. And what we're serving is different services in all the different points that you meet your customers in the online world, from websites to software, to mobile application, to internal systems, to ads, emails, documents, mobile devices, and right now we're starting to move also to the offline. One of the things that we're seeing more and more in customer service, that we're taking the power of the online, the big data that we have about the customers, and starting to move from the online with that data into the offline, and we'll talk about it in a second. Let's got stuck. So what we're doing, what we enable our customers, all the brands, is to close the feedback loop, to collect the feedback items from the customers, but engaging with customers at the point that you need to talk to them, which means that we enable our customers to talk to the right guy at the right time, at the right place, but also with the right content. And the user on his side is able to give the information that he wants to give in each and every one of those different locations. All the data that we have is both about what the user is doing, how he's experiencing things, but also what is he saying. And we're capturing all that data, afterwards analyzing it, but making it also actionable. Not only giving you nice charts, but making our customers much stronger by communicating back to their customers. In sales, we get up to 45% conversion from feedback items into closed deals. In customer service, our customers are doing a lot of money from deflection, and same thing with product. We have a lot of customers, let's say in telcos that you've just seen, companies like KPN and Swisscom, that today all their mobile applications, they do not use any focus groups. They're using Compile in order to get the data. And that's a huge change for them, because they're getting their feedback. They're getting the ability to develop the product together with the influencers of their system. And that's the kind of thing that really changed the world in the communication. When you looked in 2000, customers were not really talking to brands, and brands were not really listening. Today, everything is done through that. Thank you very much.
So thank you again for attending this panel. Communitech is a pretty young company. We initiated it in 2009, and we actually started as a bootstrap company and just raised the fund in late 2009. So really, we achieved a lot in a very short term. The company is privacy held. The headquarters is in Israel. We are selling all over the world, mainly to service provider via partners and system integrators. And we have 20 employees, which is a mix of industry veterans from the telecom and very top military units engineers. You know, 8200, who heard about it. The company, as I said, is focused on remote access technology that together with MDM-based the mobile device management solution that we build, we appear in the market as the only one company that provide a full suite of solution for IT managers to manage the whole life cycle of their devices. What's happening today in the world? There is a huge amount, everything is moving to mobile, a lot of devices. Each device is different, personalized, and many, many applications, which create a major challenges in terms of support. Many devices are being returned, and someone manage this and measure this pain, and people talking about $10 billion of cost in order to repair and handle the returns of devices. But actually 60% of those devices, they are not faulty, there is no hardware, there are no software issues. And basically those issues can be handled and solve those issues by an expert that will take a look on those devices. In another view, one of the major challenges today is IT. Mobile moving to the IT. There is the concept of bring your own device. And the major challenge today of IT manager is how to manage this transformation. And on top of that, when we're talking about support of customers, mainly on the operators or service providers, we are talking today about average handling time of 17 minutes and even above. Just to compare, to handle an issue on a feature phone, it took them 2-3 minutes. So it's very, very costly transaction. So what we are doing, we are actually having two offerings. One of them is the customer care, how mainly targeted service providers. And what we build, we have a multi-touch point approach, starting with a contact center application that allows in real time to have a takeover of the device and actually handle everything on the device as you're holding the device in your hand. And this can be done for guiding, for troubleshooting. It's enhanced also with scripting technology that built for novice users. So if you're talking about a call center that has people that didn't used to work with devices, they are not the expert, they can handle today 80% of the calls. Another layer is actually to avoid calls to the call center. So what we have on-device diagnostic and repair application that solve many of the issues of the device, and some of them are around connectivity. Yesterday I bought a SIM card from AT&T, and the first thing that she told me, the girl there said, you will not be able to do data because it doesn't work. With this application, in one click, I activated all the connectivity to the internet and actually solved those issues. And this kind of issues are 10% of the calls to the call centers. Another approach is we call the self-service approach or community support, which allow people help other people. And I believe this will be the next concept of support. And so try to imagine that my father buying a smartphone, I can handle the device for him rather than he call the call center. And the last point is remote guidance, which I can control and remotely control people. So it's kind of a remote expert and guide them how to do things. It can be either experts that installing something or insurance company that would like to control the way people report on an accident. So this is a snapshot of our application. Another view is the enterprise mobility. So we are in the world of device management, and we are covering security elements like handling devices that were stolen. So easily remote wipe, locate these devices. Today people that their device was lost, they are not saying, I lost a 1,000 device. They said, wow, all my image, all my data, all my contact, it's there. So we are helping to do that. We are allowing enterprises to manage policies for applications, governments controlling on a location-based, what to do with the device, and remote support. So, both of us. So just to summarize what we're doing, we are touching several areas. The support metrics, we are reducing the device returns. We're improving the user experience. We handle organization to facilitate the support of their employees and the bring your own device concept, and to provide new revenue models for operators to sell these services.
So we all use multiple devices, right? And there's always the question by the brands of should you have exactly the same experience from moving from one device to the other, or should the experience be just a little bit different? Because at the end of the day, we're sitting at home on our computers, and then we move from the computer to the tablet in the living room, and then we move to the car, and we'd like to continue. If we started a transaction, or if we started doing something, we'd like to continue doing the same thing, right? And I think one of the questions is, should we provide exactly the same experience, or should it be just a little bit different? So Shuki, what do you think?
Well, it's a big topic today, mainly for brand owners and advertisers. On one hand, you want to take advantage of the capabilities of different devices, but on the other hand, you want to make sure you continue a full brand experience and you lower your cost of maintaining these multiple applications in all sense. I will tell you this. The real answer to that is it depends. It depends on what type of experience you're trying to build with the user. But you touched on the user expectation, and one of the ComScore's surveys that I usually quote is that 23% of users will actually curse at a website that doesn't load fast enough on their mobile device. So definitely, you might create a negative experience to your brand or to your business if you're not thinking about a proper experience across all these devices.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and Ariel, I mean, you have a software that is basically deployed either on websites or mobile devices. So, I mean, how do you differentiate between the two? Is it different? Is it a different deployment? Is it a different way of look and feel? I mean, what's the difference between the experience?
Well, the truth is, it's not only regarding our system, but as you mentioned, it's correct. It's the holistic view of the customer is something which is very important for all of our brands, both online and offline. In the online, we do have the different tools, but the same thing is taking it afterwards to the offline. So for our customers, we see different behavior also in different verticals. Let's say in e-commerce, the main thing that we've seen today with regards to the deployment of Compal is is what are your main KPIs, what do you want to do, and by that you deploy it correctly, in a sense that the way you engage with your customer is how that tool is used. So in the web, you buy. In mobile and e-commerce, a lot of times you do not buy, and in tablets you more and more buy today. So the way you engage with the customer is very, very much influenced by what are your KPIs, how are you dealing with your customers, and what are they doing at the end of the day, what are they looking for. So that's the answer in short.
I think another topic that is very much discussed in the area of the connected customer is everything that is related to privacy. So on one hand side, we as connected customers are expecting the brands that we work with to guess exactly what it is that we're looking for, and on the other hand side, we're very protective of our privacy. So Ronen, you're giving control over mobile devices. My mobile device is like my brain. I don't know if I
Exactly. When we started 2 years ago, our pilots, the major concern was privacy, and we quickly were amazed to find that wasn't even an issue. We have surveys for all the transaction, because when you're taking control of a device, people thinking about the nightmare of going to the support center. Now, when you're giving them an experience that they feel that it's really secured, so during the process, they feel that they have the consent of the process. And then during the session, when the user trying to access, for instance, to private area, like your images, and you are automatically blocking it or providing another message to the user, do you allow? So people feel very, very safe in this transaction.
Anybody else want to comment on privacy?
I can address the privacy issue from the financial perspective. We're dealing with the most sensitive topic that people care about when it comes to privacy, which is their money. There's nothing more sensitive than your money. And we're dealing with payees, people we transfer funds to them all over the world, and we need to collect from them their most sensitive piece of information, which is what is your bank account, what is your banking information, how we transfer information to you. And I think the issue of privacy is really critical. And we deal with this in a very simple way. We recognize that not every one of us can develop the most secure and technologies and the best technologies to safeguard others' people's privacy. And so we chose, in our case, to use services of others who are recognized as privacy leaders, as those who can protect information in the most secure manner. And as probably as many of you have done, we are also offering a software as a service model which is hosted in the cloud, which I'm sure many of you do. And I'm sure all of us are dealing here with, we try to deal with the most prominent names and the most secure sites available. That's what we do. I assume you do the same.
Ariel, you want to comment on that as well? Because I know that you guys are also, you're same as us. You're monitoring some of the information. You're looking at the users. You're letting them provide feedback on a website. So do you have any, security things that you're doing in the area of security that?
So in order to answer that, I have to go. Sorry about that. I'll have to go back 10 years. 10 years ago, the social self was nothing. Nobody was on the website. None of my information was online. And that meant that the user was anonymous. Nobody knew him. And you felt that you're not getting service, but okay, who cares? Nobody knows me. Today, my online self is my offline self in a lot of situations. That means that the customer is putting all of his data there. He's by himself, and he's also waiting to get service as a human being, like same thing like in the offline, and he is willing to give a lot of his data and allowing us to communicate because he wants to have right now and the correct support. And that is something which is very crucial to understand before we even go into engaging to the question. Now, the main problem is that today kids are too much open, putting too much of their information up there. When they get to 18 or 21, doesn't matter what, they'll discover that they don't want everything there. So we're still in the learning curve of exactly how much information should be out there and how much information should we be using. But of course, all of us want to have a lot of that information used in order to get better service. The regulations themselves, right now, there's the opt-out, and in Europe we're seeing more and more issues of that. I don't know if you know, but in May, the new regulations came into effect, and that is affecting all of our customers, I would say, in Europe. And the main problem is that it's real regulations with the wrong things, which means that those regulations show you the opt-out, what's bad in all that is done. Doesn't show the user what's the opt-in, what is really important, and what am I gaining out of this kind of communication. When we say cookies and we have that information regarding the users, that enables us to give much better service to our customers, not only to sell to them, but giving a much better experience. That's what they're looking for today. When a user comes into a website, into a mobile site, doesn't matter what, he's looking for a better experience. The only way to do it is by giving that data. So I'm seeing more and more that our customers have to comply with the regulations, but we'll see more and more the right solutions, how to comply in the right manner with those regulations. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Okay, so to conclude, let's each have one sentence of what the connected customer means to us and how our companies are dealing with that area. For us at LivePerson, it's really about providing the best experience across devices proactively and really online, offline, providing the best experience possible to our customers.
For us, we're in a business-to-business situation, so our customers are companies themselves. And we are here to allow our customers to do what they want to do, which is sell their services, promote their services, and not have to deal with the ugly part of their business, which is paying their suppliers. We take that problem and remove it from them completely.
For us, it's all about delivering the world's information to every device. And I think what starting to get, where we're starting to see our business go is into that interesting area of turning the physical world into the digital world and connecting these two as well.
For us, very similar to what Ido said with LivePerson, we brought the human interaction into the online world. When we started, we saw that there was no real human interaction between online brands and their customers. And that's exactly what we did. What we are seeing more into the future is bringing all that data, all that ability to service better through the online into the offline, and taking a lot of that data into the offline and making a much more stronger communication between brands and customers.
For us is providing a superior support capabilities and customer experience via several channels, which can be turned from cost saving into revenue generation for operators and other bodies.
Thank you. We hope it was interesting.
Now we know that we're connected.